Hello and welcome to the 805 Focus. My name's Eric Davis, Executive Director of TV Santa Barbara, filling in for Dr. Cynder Sinclair on the 805 Focus, where we spotlight nonprofit organizations throughout Santa Barbara County. The 805 Focus runs Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. on TV Santa Barbara, Channel 17. Today we have a very special guest, Holly Carmody, Executive Director of Angels Foster Care. Welcome to the 805 Focus.
Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you. And what I'm really curious is to tell your story. So why don't we start with the origin of Angels Foster Care? How did that come about?
So Angels Foster Care was founded by a woman named Michelle Arns. She's local here in Santa Barbara. And her story is that she's a pediatric nurse, and she was volunteering as a CASA, a court-appointed special advocate, advocating for two young brothers. And during the course of their case in dependency court, over the course of a year, they were moved 7 times to 7 different homes. And that had a very devastating impact on everyone involved, the children, Michelle. She just felt very strongly that the adults in our area in Santa Barbara County could do better for children than that. So she looked for a different way of providing foster care for very young children and found the Angels model in San Diego and brought that back to Santa Barbara and founded our organization in 2006.
2006.
Yes.
And what is the mission statement? And what do you tell people when they ask you, what is Angels Foster Care?
Well, we serve infants and toddlers in our local Santa Barbara County foster care system. Children enter the foster care system due to abuse, neglect, or abandonment. And what we do is we make sure that those children have a safe, loving family that are caring for them for the entire time that they are in the foster care system. And if they need a forever family, our Angels families step up and adopt the children. So we are, what we are actually doing is a few different things. We look for families, we screen them, we train them, and we intensively support our Angels Foster Care families so that they are successful in their foster care journey with their Angels children.
I'm going to try not to get emotional on this, but it is. So Holly, tell me about these families. It's got to take such a special heart to be, an angel. Tell me about them, and if you have any stories you can share with the viewers, go ahead.
Sure, I couldn't agree more. Our families are angels, and they really focus on the well-being of the children, and they have special hearts. I agree with you 100%. I can tell you the story of a little baby that we placed recently, and I'm going to use names that are not the real names because we have to worry about confidentiality. So little Johnny was born here at Cottage Hospital, and unfortunately he was exposed to opioids in utero, so he was born early, and he was very small when he was born, and he ended up needing to spend some time in the intensive care, neonatal intensive care unit, the NICU. And we had a wonderful Angels couple who had been trained and were ready to go. I'm going to call them Joan and Paul. Joan and Paul visited little Johnny in the hospital every day for the entire time he was at Cottage. They bonded with him, and so they already had a relationship started with little Johnny by the time he took them home. They have other children in their family. The children loved little Johnny. The whole family just showered him with love and care. And they were also very supportive of Johnny's father, who was dealing with substance addiction issues. The primary goal of foster care is to reunify children with their families if the parents can deal with whatever issue caused the child to not be in a safe situation. And so if that can happen safely, that's the first choice. And our Angels families are very supportive. We're always rooting for parents to deal with their issues and reunify when it's safe. And so for about a year, little Johnny's father visited him. Our Angels social work staff supervised every visit, reported back to the Angels family. Johnny's dad did better and better and got a job. And I'm happy to report for little Johnny that he was able to reunify with his father. This is what I find especially heartwarming, is that Joan and Paul and their family, they still have a relationship with little Johnny. And when little Johnny's father needs childcare for his work, and he, if it's on a weekend, that family is happy to have Johnny come, and their children just love on him, and they're a team. Everybody is there rooting for Johnny, and that's what Angels is all about. Making sure that these children have the best possible environment during a tough time in their lives, and that they thrive.
So Johnny's got 2 families now.
He does.
How lucky.
His dad has an extra support system that he didn't have before. And that family is open to another placement. And the next child might end up staying with them and having Joan and Paul be their forever parents, depending on how that case goes. So it's just the best possible situation for vulnerable infants and toddlers who are in foster care in Santa Barbara County.
So tell me how this all works. How do you find these families? How do you find the kids in need? Take us through the journey a little bit.
Sure. So we do a lot of outreach through community events. We do advertising, but the main source of finding families is word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So Angels families talk to their friends about their Angels experience, and that's what we find when we ask new Angels parents what motivated them to look into this further. It's usually knowing a family that's done this in the past. And that's wonderful because, again, the support systems are stronger when families can talk to each other about the struggles and the challenges, so that it all works very well in that way. So what happens is a family will inquire about becoming an Angel's parents, and then they go through an application process. We have some special requirements above and beyond what is required in traditional foster care. We do ask families to commit to staying with their child for the entire time that infant or toddler is in foster care. Again, because our goal is to keep children in one stable home. So our families make that commitment up front. We only place one child or one sibling set in a home at a time because we really want those parents to have that bandwidth to focus on providing that love and care and healthy bonding and attachment for these babies. And we also require a in-home caregiver. So that might take the form of a stay-at-home parent. Sometimes we have parents who juggle their schedules, but we do want the Angels parents to be the primary caregivers for these infants because they have already been through trauma in their short lives. Mm-hmm. And they do need that healthy bonding and attachment is so important for their development. And that facilitates that by having a stay-at-home parent or a parent caregiver in the home.
And you were telling me earlier that sometimes the adoptees stay with their forever parent or their foster parent.
So we have people come to Angels and decide to do this with a variety of different motivations. Sometimes people just want to foster for whatever time they're needed in a child's life, and they're not really looking to expand their families. other Angels families are open to expanding their families. That's called concurrent planning. And for families that would like to adopt, if that becomes necessary, our social workers work really hard to match them to children that look like they may need a forever family. So it's not an exact science.
Yes, I could imagine.
But we try to make sure that we're respecting what families are looking for and providing what the infants and toddlers need. And then you had asked about how the babies come to us.
Yes.
So when babies enter the foster care system, they have a case in child dependency court, and they also have a caseworker in child welfare services. And what happens is we get a call referring the baby, asking, do we have a family? Do we have a lovely couple like Paul and Joan who are ready for a baby that might have been detained that night or that day? And our social workers find out about the baby and then call our parents who've already been screened and trained and approved and talk to them and give them as much information as we have about that little child. And then our parents say, yes, we're up for it, and we match that child to an Angels family.
What a special day that must be.
It is. That, and for children who do go on to adoption days are very special as well.
And you serve all of Santa Barbara County, or what's the region that you guys?
We do. We serve children throughout Santa Barbara County, and we actually have families that are in South San Luis County as well, as far north as Arroyo Grande. So they are fostering Santa Barbara County children, but they are in San Luis Obispo County.
And I understand you have a new program that we had talked about earlier.
Yes, we have the Family and Friends Together program. I am really excited about this. It just launched in March, and it is a collaboration between Angels Foster Care, Department of Social Services, Child Welfare Services, and also some local foundations who've provided funding for this. And our social workers, our Angels social workers, are providing support, extra support for kinship families. So that would be grandma or grandpa, aunt or uncle who is fostering a child in their family. And they face some unique challenges, and they don't often have the level of support that Angels families get from our social work team. So what we're trying to do is provide that for them, because we want them to be successful. And so we have just started, I believe there are 9 active families with 11 children in our age range, 0 to 5, or birth to 5, I should say, who are participating in that program. And our initial feedback has been so positive. They're really feeling grateful for the help with navigating the financial aspects, the childcare aspects. We really tailor our services to what the family needs. And so we're that extra knowledgeable pair of ears and support for these kinship families. And we're just delighted we can help more children in this way.
And for those watching at home, how could they learn more information? How can they support your programs? How could they support Angels Foster Care in general? And like I said, where can they learn more about getting involved or what you do?
So they can go to our website, which is angelsfostercare.org, and learn more there, or they can call our office. Also, we have events throughout the year. We have an annual event called El Fresco in Santa Barbara, and we have one called Sip and Support up in Santa Maria. That's an excellent way to learn more, and the information about that is on our website too. And we're always looking for families that want to foster, learn more about fostering. I encourage anyone who's curious to get in touch with us. Also, donations are gratefully accepted. It costs us about $1,000 to find and train a new Angels family. It costs us a couple of $200 to buy a safe car seat for the baby, for the Angels families. We'll use $100 would help us buy diapers for a baby for a month. So whatever whatever's comfortable for donors, we encourage them to donate. We also have volunteer opportunities. So I just want to encourage anyone who's interested in Angels foster care to reach out to us, and we'll find a way for you to help.
Well, this is a beautiful story, and you're a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
We are.
So the donations are tax deductible.
They absolutely are. And so far we've served 310 children.
Really? Since 2006?
We have.
Wow.
And we can't wait to serve more, and I hope that folks who are seeing this interview will be inspired to reach out to us.
And how many families or kids annually do you work with?
So we work with the 25 to 30 children annually. Because of the nature of the foster care system, children are sort of coming in and going out all the time, but whether that's by adoption or reunification. So that's an average, but yeah, children stay with their families on average about a year.
I could see this kind of smile in your eyes and the joy as you talk about this. As executive director, what brings you joy about working?
You know, I have to say, I just love being around the families. I love being around the babies. To me, these children, these are our future. This is the future of our community. And this age group that we focus on, birth to age 5, 90% of brain development happens during that period. So we are partnering with these families, our donors, our volunteers, our board, everyone, to make sure that these children have a bright future. And that makes me very happy.
I can see that. Once again, as we close this show, you tell people at home what the kind of overall mission and your kind of elevator pitch of this great organization.
Sure. We support children from birth to age 5 who've been abused, abandoned, or neglected in our local Santa Barbara County foster care system. We place them in one stable, loving, safe home, and we make sure that they are able to reach their full potential.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Holly. Thank you for joining us on the 805 Focus today. My name is Eric Davis, Executive Director of TV Santa Barbara, and you can watch the 805 Focus on Channel 17, TV Santa Barbara, Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. Thank you for watching.